Live.
Good morning, Vuyo, and morning to your listeners.
Now, Minister, the department was allocated 6.7 billion for 2013-2014, about 1.4 more than the previous financial year. Are you happy with the way it's been utilized?
Well, we are underway with plans to implement the major programs that we have. So, indeed, we have plans to use the money as directed by Cabinet and Treasury.
So duplicate IDs reduced from about 1 million to 20,000. Is that a correct statistics as things stand?
Well, when we began the project of getting rid of duplicate IDs in 2009, there were around 500,000 in circulation. That's 500,000. We think we have just over 20,000 now, and have been talking to a range of institutions and have reached agreement that in December we will invalidate the remaining duplicate IDs in the system.
So what has happened actually, Minister? Is this just simply a cleaning up of the system? The one individual, Vuyo Mbuli, would have two ID documents with two different barcodes. How did it work?
Well, Vuyo Mbuli may have a twin somewhere who's not his blood relative, who also has an ID in Vuyo's name with same birth date and so on. This is often a stolen identity, it's a fraudulent ID, or it may very well be that there's an error. And we've been calling on all the holders of these IDs to come forward. Many have done so, and they're the ones we've been able to clean up. The remaining number might actually be the fraudulent ones, and that's why we have to take drastic action in order to stop people holding duplicate IDs.
What about these false marriages, these marriages where South African young women are married off to strangers who are pursuing the South African nationality? Have you sorted those out? How bad is the situation right now?
Well, I think the public campaign that we held, encouraging people to check their marriage status, as well as alerting South Africans to this practice of fraudulent marriages or marriages of convenience, has assisted a great deal. But more needs to be done. I continue to get letters from young women who accepted money, entered into such marriages, and then find that either they're deserted or they're not being paid as they'd been promised. So it's something we've got to continue to act against. We have tightened up our marriage laws. You're required to have a proper marriage license. We appoint marriage officers who are trained in the new marriage laws and regulations so that they actually act as they should and don't abuse our system.
Okay. Now, talking about the system, the new smart card ID, is it really coming out in July?
That's the plan, Vuyo, and I really am determined that we shouldn't keep changing dates. It should have been in place by April this year. It wasn't. We didn't meet that time frame. I don't think you should keep shifting dates. I think we must work really hard, and we must ensure that we are ready in July.
So what is the card going to have? Is it going to incorporate the ID document as it currently is, driver's license and other elements? What's going to be in there?
Well, we will replace the ID document over several years. But for those who are first issue applicants, they will receive the new smart card. Those who come, who've lost their card, their ID document, will receive the smart card from July. We'll begin with 27 offices, 3 per province throughout the country. We'll expand the number in 2014, and we believe within 7 to 8 years we would have covered the entire population of ID book holders.
Now, the ID card itself, who's going to pay for it?
Well, we as citizens will pay as we do currently. First issue is free. After that, should you lose your card, you will pay an amount of 140 Rand, which is the replacement amount we pay currently.
You say the date has been moved, Minister, should have been ready earlier this year, now it's July. What are the complexities that need to be dealt with?
Well, it's a range of things. Firstly, you have to decide what form of card you're going to have. Is it a contactless card or a card where there's a contact, where you insert information physically, or do you do it by way of a computer through what is called live capture? We've decided to go the live capture route. What form of biometrics do you have? Do you include fingerprints? Do you include other information? How do you encode it? Do you continue to use the birth number, birth date, or some other
All of
code?
those elements, okay. All right. Minister, thank you very much for your time. Now, Lady Pando is Minister responsible for Home Affairs, joining us from our studios in Pretoria. Thank you for your time this morning.